I'm going to sit up here with you guys. How's that? Doesn't look like a big crowd today. You know, if I was a little better prepared, I'd probably have some Swedish fish because the gospel reading that we're going to be using with the adults is where Jesus told Peter, let's get in the boat and go out there and go fishing. And Peter said, I've been out there all night long. I don't really think I can catch anything because I have nothing, and they do it more at night. The fish come, they have a light, and the fish go up to the light. They didn't get anything, but Jesus said, hey. So Peter did go out, and they fished, and tons of fish. This is what they call Peter's call. If you want to call, Jesus was calling Peter, and Peter said, go away from me. I'm a sinful person, and you don't need me. But Jesus said, hey, we don't worry about that stuff. He said, from now on, we're going to make you fishers of people. And he left his boat behind. So, what does it take? Or tell me a time that maybe you were doing what you wanted to do and somebody was saying something and you maybe you misbehaved or whatever, and then all of a sudden, somewhere along the line, you might have realized that I wasn't being very good about that, or I was being naughty. Something comes to mind, does it? What? Oh, no, but you did. You said you were sorry after, and then what? Then you did what you were asked. Oh, that happened a lot. That's all right. It happens a lot. Believe me. Me too. What about you? Hmm? It happened before. We just can't remember. They call that a memory of convenience too. um, but what I thought was it's impressive is not that Jesus had a whole net full of fish when they were all night fishing, and he just goes, plop, pull it up, and there was so many fish, 2 boats. That stunned Peter because he was a fisherman. But you know what it else did? It helped Peter realize that maybe he didn't all have it all together, and maybe he ought to listen to this guy because he had listened to Jesus before, and this was the one time where Jesus was going to say, "This is the point where I'm going to sit there and call him out." There are times like that, but even when Peter said, "You're the Lord," and I'm not worthy, Jesus said, "That's all right. I can still use you as long as you follow me and listen to me," basically. And that's what he did. Sometimes it takes something to startle us to realize that, like don't play with matches, or my daughter was playing with the stove, and I said, don't play with that stove. You turn that up to flame, something will burn. You might get burnt. And it took something pretty eventful for her to sit there and say, oh, all right, maybe I won't do that. So when we think about when Jesus is asking us to do something, and we don't always know when that is, you got to remember that sometimes Jesus is using our parents, our teachers, and a lot of other people and friends. When you're about to do something, yeah, maybe you shouldn't. Well, I can take a little chocolate chips out of the bag and then close it back up because no one will ever knows a few are missing, right? It's usually a friend or a brother and sister and say, don't do that. And we need that regularly. So, and Jesus is patient, so he will always forgive us as long as we admit that we've had our times of our doubt. Okay? Let's have a prayer together. Precious God, you are like the most patient parent that we could ever want, ever hope for. We probably don't deserve, but you love us anyways. And this is a message that Jesus has been trying to tell us the whole time. So we thank you for your love. Love so great that you would send your own son, even if he had to die for us, and then rise again, just to prove how much you love him.